IELTS listening practice, focusing on map labeling, one of the most challenging aspects of the IELTS listening test. The objectives for this lesson are to review the strategies used to label effectively in the IELTS test by looking at common problems and useful language. We will then apply the strategies to a listening practice. The outline: first we will have a quick warm-up. Then we will review some key strategies to help you with listening. Then we will do a practice, and finally you will be assigned some homework. For a warm-up, we're going to do some dictation. So I will dictate some sentences to you, and you will have to write key parts of the sentence down. For this section, you will need a piece of paper and a pen or pencil. For each sentence, I will read the sentence the first time, and you must write the first and the last word that you hear in the sentence. Then I will read it again, and you will tell me or write down how many words in that sentence. Finally, I will read it a third time, and you write down either the key words or the whole sentence, depending on how much you are able to write at the time, or how simple the sentence is. So we have an example sentence. Okay, so first I will read the sentence, and you would write down the first and last word. So the first sentence: technology is helping young people to learn about the world. First and last word in the sentence: technology and world. Now you need to count the words in the sentence. Technology is helping young people to learn about the world. So we have 10 words. And finally, I read it again: technology is helping young people to learn about the world. And you should write the key words. Because this is quite an easy sentence, you could also write the whole sentence out. So the sentence was: technology is helping young people to learn about the world. And here you can see there are 3 parts that you need to write down. First, you have technology and world, the first 2 sentences. Then you have the how many words in the sentence. And finally, either the whole sentence if you're able, or if not, you just have the key clauses, the key parts of the sentence. Okay, so sentence number 1. Groups of birds can form a giant, coordinated line over the ocean's surface. The first and last word: groups and surface. Now count. Groups of birds can form a giant, coordinated line over the ocean's surface. We have 13 words. Now for the whole sentence, or the key words: groups of birds can form a giant, coordinated line over the ocean's surface. So here are the key phrases. Number 2. First and last word: coronavirus wasn't made in a lab because a genetic analysis shows it's from nature. Very topical sentence. First and last word: coronavirus and nature. How many words? Coronavirus wasn't made in a lab because a genetic analysis shows it's from nature. It's 14 words. Okay, try to get as many of the key clauses as you can, the key words, key phrases, or write the whole sentence. Coronavirus wasn't made in a lab because a genetic analysis shows it's from nature. finally, sentence number 3. Butterfly wings are pretty cool because of special structures that protect them from overheating in the sun. The first and last word, butterfly and sun. Now count. Butterfly wings are pretty cool because of special structures that protect them from overheating in the sun. That's 17 words. Finally, write the whole sentence, all the key phrases. Butterfly wings are pretty cool because of special structures that protect them from overheating in the sun. Okay, now we're going to review. Now we'll review some common problems with the map labeling section of the listening test. The first common problem is not being aware of the vocabulary and functional language used to describe locations and directions. The vocabulary and language that we use to talk about where people are going is not that advanced. It's not that difficult once you understand it, but you do need to understand it and know it to fully be able to do your best in this section. So we just remind you of a few key phrases. In the southwest, in the northeast. Normally, when you look at a map, you can see a key that will tell you which way is north, east, south, and west. So if you look north, you should know which way is north on the map. And if you can see the mouse, normally you go north at the top, east on the right, south at the bottom, and west on the left. Okay, if you don't remember, a way to remember the way that you have north, east, south, west is if you look at a world map and you see that Japan is over here and America is over here on the left. People in England call Japan the land of the rising sun, so it's over here, east, the sun rises in the east. And in cowboy movies set in the USA, at the end of the movie, the cowboys always ride away into the sunset. So cowboys like the sunset. The sunset's in the west, so we have the west over here. Okay, southwest means in the middle of south and west. So you have south here, west here, so southwest is in this part of the map. And northeast is north, and east, so you go here, in that corner. Okay. Adjoining means next to. If you're talking about a house and you can walk from your kitchen into your living room, you would say that the kitchen and the living room are adjoining. They are next to each other. Okay. So block A and block B of V-star are adjoining. Clockwise and anti-clockwise. If you look at the clock, the direction that the hands move around the clock is clockwise. So if we have 12 o'clock here, you will see that the hand moves this way, so that's clockwise. And anti-clockwise is the other way. Left hand side and the right hand side. If you know your left and your right, this is quite easy. If you say on the left hand side and you look and you use your left hand, you will see the left hand side. If you are looking at someone and you say on the left hand side, you mean on the left when you are looking at them. So on this side, the title of this slide is Common Problems. The word southwest is found on the left, so it's the left hand side. Okay. And etc. means more. There are more in the list. Some more common problems. Too much information. Okay, this is a very difficult and common problem with the Ielts speaking test, especially with the map. You are asked to listen, to follow a description or directions, understand the map or the diagram, and write short notes, but you need to do it at the same time. Okay, it's very difficult to do that. So it's very important that you do as much as you can before you start listening. More common problems. First we have spelling. It's a common problem in all IELTS listening questions, but particularly in this type of question, because you have to do so many things at the same time. On an IELTS test, if you have a name and you forget to capitalize the first letter, your answer is wrong. So spelling is very important, and it can be difficult in this section because you might not know the exact spelling of that location or that type of building, so you have to pay attention. And another problem is visualization. This refers to your ability to form mental visual images, to put the picture in your head. You will be sitting in an exam room and the person talking will be describing a plan you have never seen before. Unless you can imagine what it looks like, it is very difficult to answer these questions. It can be helpful to imagine you are in the map that you are looking at. Okay, so what is some useful language? When you're looking at a picture or something, at the top, at the bottom, on the left, on the right, on the far side, north, south, east, west, to the north, to the west, slightly west of, inside, outside, opposite, in front of. These are all very common, very easy to understand, but very helpful. You should look at the picture and figure out when you're looking at the picture what's the top, what's the bottom. Look at a map, try to locate where is north. Think about if it's buildings, where are the buildings located on the map? Are they in the north? And so on. Some more useful language. In the southwest, in the northeast, in the middle of, or in the center, above, below, inside, outside, opposite, in front of, left-hand side, right-hand side, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So now we have some listening strategies. If we have this picture, okay, the first step is to read the question carefully and try to understand the map or plan and its features. Okay, so first step here, we read the question, questions 6 to 10, label the map, choose 5 answers from the box and write the letters A to H next to questions 6 to 10. Okay, so we have the map here with the numbers, and then we have A through H as possible options. Okay, so we have bird cages, a football field, play equipment, a pond, a recycling center, sports field, a storyteller's chair, and a tree house. Okay, and if you look at the map, you can see that it's a primary school. Also focus, you have here a compass, so you know that north is this way. Alright, also look at the key indicators. We have the wind turbine, vegetable patch. These are signposts, they can help you. Okay, so read the question carefully. Ask yourself where things are in relation to the questions. This should help you predict the answers and follow the talk. Okay, so if you know that you need to put something here at number 10, look around what is number 10. It is near the wind turbine and it is near the secret garden. If you look at the compass, you can see that whatever number 10 is north of the secret garden. Okay? 3. Think about where the person might begin their talk from. What is to their right and left? What is in front and behind them? Normally, you follow the numbers too. So maybe we're going to start somewhere over here at the entrance to the school where the star is, or maybe number 6. Okay, number 4. Look at the major parts of the map or plan to help you understand and navigate your way around. Think of the language that might be used to describe that location. Okay, we're in a school in this question. They might use different language to describing a university or an office building, for example. Predict what type of words might be the answer. For example, will be a place, a room, a street, a building, etc. Listen to the beginning of the talk carefully, because this will help you understand the context and help you follow the talk more easily. It's very important, after you've looked at the map, when the listening starts, the person talking will always introduce what is happening. They might be giving someone a tour. They might be explaining where to find something. Can help you. 7. Visualize the place they are describing whilst the person is talking. Note down any possible answers, but be careful with distractors. For example, this was the library, but we decided to move it down to the end of the corridor. 8. Use signposting language like the next room we are about to see is, or if you now follow me to help you understand each stage of the talk. 9. Make short notes on the question paper and then transfer your answers at the end using correct spelling. In my experience, the students that score the most points on listening are the students that write the most notes on their paper. Okay, so try to make notes for yourself as you read. If you look at this, just thinking about the size and what things look like, looking at number 6 is probably not going to be a tree house, because there are no trees around number 6. You can see clearly that we have sort of inside area and an outside area. So you're more likely to find the tree house in this area. Okay, also a pond is more likely to be in this area, not inside. There's not going to be a pond in the car park, for example. If you're thinking about what's going to be in a car park, do you normally find a football field in a car park? No. Are you going to find a pond in a car park? No. You might find the recycling center. You might find a chair if they're not using it, but it's unlikely. Okay, so you can look, number 7 is a car park. Probably it's going to be recycling center or some equipment if they need storage. So you can kind of plan like that. Okay, now let's practice a map labeling listening activity. So here is the map that we have to label. I'm going to play the listening twice. Once all the way through, and then afterwards I will play it and guide you through the answers. While you look at the picture, the first thing you should look at is, what do you think this type of building is, or this map? There is an entrance here. You see the main entrance, and then everything is in a wall, so it should make you realize that this is a map of a building. And now you look at the options. We have a catering desk, which is, catering is about ordering food. A catering company brings food to an event. Okay, so if you are hungry, you go to the catering desk or table. Registration, if you are signing up to a school for the first time, or if you are going to a conference or something like that, then you need to register to tell them that you have arrived. So you need to go to the registration desk or the sign-in table. And then you have the accommodation desk, so where you register for where you would stay, if you are staying in a room overnight, or if you are at university and you are going to live there, you will have accommodation. So you have 3 desks, and then we have 2 halls. A hall can be used as a big room. Okay, and then if you look at 14 and 15, we have 2 names, Lancaster and Kensington. So these are names, so they indicate a difference between Lancaster Hall and Kensington Hall. When you look at the map, a clue might be that you have big rooms and lots of small things. So it would probably be safe to bet that the smaller squares are desks. And before we listen, I will warn you that she speaks very quickly, so you need to keep in mind phrases like opposite, next to. Okay, so I will play the audio 1 time, and then I will lead you through a 2nd time.
You will hear a woman telling some people about the organization of a conference. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15. Now listen carefully to the information talk and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning and welcome to this first talk of the Conference on the Conservation of Natural Resources. My name is Linda. Before we start with our first official speaker, I'd like to tell you a little about the organization of the event. First of all, I'd like to tell you that within the conference areas, all your food and non-alcoholic drinks are free, as the costs have been included within the price of your ticket. All you need to do is to show the blue identification card that you were issued when you registered. If you wear it around your neck with the string provided, then it is easily seen and not easy to lose. If you do lose it, please come to see me at my catering desk with some identification and I'll issue you a new one. As you came into the conference area earlier through the main entrance, you will have seen a large rectangular room, which is the conference reception room. The catering desk is in this room, just to the right of the conference entrance as you come in. If you have not yet officially registered, you can do that at the registration desk across the room directly opposite my catering desk. Again, just bring a piece of identification. We know that some of you will not have yet organized anywhere to stay. If you'd like some help with that, you can visit our accommodation desk, which is found to the left of the registration desk as you come into the conference reception room. The bathrooms are between these two desks. We have agreed some special rates at some nearby hotels that also have free shuttle services to and from this conference center. You won't find a better deal. During the conference, there will be 2 speeches going on at any one time. After the opening speech that follows my talk, you can choose to stay in this hall, which is Lancaster Hall, or go to the other hall, which is Kensington Hall. Lancaster Hall, which is the one we are in right now, is through the only door in the right-hand wall of the conference reception room, and Kensington Hall is directly opposite. Plans and schedules are available on the desk on the left of the conference reception room entrance as you come in. Please help yourself.
You now have some time to look at questions 16 to 20.
Okay, so we're going to go through it again just to check your answers and I will help you a little bit. So I'm going to move the audio a little bit back and then I will pause it and we talk through it together.
I'd like to tell you a little about the organization of the event. First of all, I'd like to tell you that within the conference areas, all your food and non-alcoholic drinks are free.
So by saying about food, the speaker has signposted that she is talking about the first one, the catering desk. Now you know to listen for question 11.
As the costs have been included within the price of your ticket. All you need to do is to show the blue identification card that you were issued when you registered. If you wear it around your neck with the string provided, then it is easily seen and not easy to lose. If you do lose it, please come to see me at my catering desk with some identification and I'll issue you a new one.
Okay, so she's telling you, please come to see me at the registration desk, at the catering desk, sorry. Please come to see me at the catering desk and she will give you a new one. So she's telling you to listen directly for the location of question 11, the catering desk.
As you came into the conference area earlier through the main entrance, you will have seen a large rectangular room, which is the conference reception room. The catering desk is in this room, just to the right of the conference entrance as you come in.
So as you come in the main entrance, you are in this big rectangle room, the reception room, and just on the right, you see the catering desk, just on the right-hand side of the main entrance. So this J is the catering desk.
If you have not yet officially registered, you can do that at the registration desk across the room directly opposite my catering desk.
So she says that the registration desk is opposite the catering desk. When you look at the picture, you could say that G is opposite, but so is F. However, she also says that the registration desk is across the room. To cross the room, you have to travel the whole distance. So this is not across the room as much. This is very much across the room. So the registration desk is across the room, opposite the catering desk. So we have F being the registration desk.
Again, just bring a piece of identification. We know that some of you will not have yet organized anywhere to stay. If you'd like some help with that, you can visit our accommodation desk, which is found to the left of the registration desk as you come into the conference reception room.
As you come into the conference reception room, so as you enter, which means at the main entrance, the accommodation desk is on the left of the registration desk. Okay, so if you have correctly identified that the registration desk is F, you see that it is slightly on the right-hand side of the main entrance. Then when you come in on the left of the registration desk, you have the accommodation desk. So left-hand side, right-hand side. So now we have catering across the room to registration, and then on the left you have the accommodation desk.
The bathrooms are between these two desks. We have agreed some special rates at some nearby hotels that also have free shuttle services to and from this conference center. You won't find a better deal. During the conference, there will be 2 speeches going on at any one time. After the opening speech that follows my talk, you can choose to stay in this hall, which is Lancaster Hall, or go to the other hall, which is Kensington Hall. Lancaster Hall, which is the one we are in right now, is through the only door in the right-hand wall of the conference reception room.
Okay, a little bit confusing because you're thinking you're at the main entrance, but then she tells you you are already in a room. Okay, so we know that all of these small numbers are desks, so probably, and that D is the toilet. So we are trying to decide, is Lancaster Hall C or is it E? And she says that it is in the right-hand wall. So this is the left-hand wall here. This is the right-hand wall. So that the Lancaster Hall is on the right. So E.
And Kensington Hall is directly opposite.
And Kensington Hall is directly opposite. So if this is Lancaster Hall, directly opposite is Kensington Hall. Okay. So just to check your answers, J, F, B, E, C. Your homework is to finish extra listening exercises. Try to use the strategies discussed in this lesson. Checklist. Have you understood the strategies to label maps effectively in an Ielts listening test? If you answered the questions correctly, then yes. 2. Apply the strategies to label maps effectively in Ielts listening test. Did you apply those strategies? We did the listening practice, so yes, we did. If you want to practice more, you can always find online resources. Thank you very much.